If you're hunting for a mobility scooter that actually fits into your life, something you can trust to get you from the kitchen to the doctor's office without a daily dose of anxiety, and that doesn't feel like an expensive piece of furniture you'll regret buying, you've probably already felt the hesitation. The market is full of glossy pictures and long feature lists, but the real question is whether the scooter will stay reliable after the first month, how easy it is to live with in a small apartment, and whether the price truly reflects the value you'll get on the road. That's why I spent a few weeks talking to owners, digging through the 86 Amazon ratings that average a solid 4.2 stars, and testing the GoGo Elite Traveler 2 in a typical day-to-day scenario before hitting record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's set the stage. This is a four-wheel scooter aimed at adults who need a bit more stability than a three-wheel model, and who want something that folds down enough to slip into the trunk of a sedan or the back of an SUV. The name Traveler 2 isn't just marketing fluff. Pride Mobility designed it with travel in mind, from the 12-hour battery that promises a respectable range to the 37-inch turning radius that lets you maneuver through grocery aisles without feeling like you're piloting a tank. Those numbers sound nice on paper, but what matters is how they translate when you're actually using the scooter to pick up a prescription, attend a community center class, or go on a weekend trip to a grandparent's house. Who should consider the GoGo Elite Traveler 2? If you weigh up to 300 pounds and need a device that can handle a few hours of continuous use without constant recharging, you're in the right ballpark. The scooter's 12-hour battery, paired with the efficient motor, typically lets users cover about 15 to 18 miles on a single charge under normal conditions, enough for most city-dwelling errands or a short day out. It's also a good fit for anyone who lives in a condo or a smaller home where storage space is at a premium. The seat folds down to a compact 17 by 17-inch footprint, and the whole unit can be disassembled without needing a wrench. That means you can store it in a closet, under a bed, or pop it into a vehicle trunk and be ready for the next outing. On the flip side, you'll want to skip this model if you regularly carry heavy loads beyond the 300-pound limit, or if you expect to use it on steep, uneven terrain like hiking trails. The scooter's four-wheel design does give it a stable ride on pavement, but the 37-inch turning radius, while tighter than many larger mobility scooters, still requires a bit of clearance. Tight indoor hallways or crowded nursing home corridors can feel cramped, especially if you're trying to navigate around other walkers or wheelchairs. Also, if you're looking for a luxury finish with premium upholstery or a high-tech touchscreen dashboard, you'll be disappointed. The Traveler 2 sticks to a functional aesthetic that can be customized with optional accessories, but the base model is intentionally plain. Now let's talk about the everyday experience. I started the morning by taking the scooter out of its folded state, a process that took me about a minute. Pride's convenient disassembly claim holds up. The seat lifts, the footrest folds, and the handlebar folds down without any stubborn clamps. Once unfolded, the scooter feels sturdy enough to give you confidence when you're stepping on and off. The seat itself is modestly padded, not a plush recliner, but comfortable enough for a few hours of sitting. I appreciated the adjustable armrests. They let me fine-tune the width so I could get my hips in a relaxed position, which is a small but meaningful detail if you suffer from lower back soreness. The first real test was a trip to the local pharmacy, a 3-block walk from my apartment. The scooter handled the curb cuts and the slightly uneven pavement without any jolting. Because it's an FDA Class II medical device, Pride has built-in safety features like a responsive brake that activates when you release the throttle, and the scooter automatically cuts power if the battery drops below a safe threshold. Those safeguards gave me peace of mind, especially when I stopped at a crosswalk and the vehicle in front of me hesitated. The scooter held its position securely without me having to constantly grip the brakes. Battery life is often the make-or-break factor for any electric scooter, and the 12-hour pack performed as advertised in my short-term test. After a full charge overnight, I rode about 12 miles before the battery indicator turned amber. At that point, the scooter still had enough power to get me home, but I could feel the performance dip slightly, the top speed reduced from the advertised 5 miles per hour to a more relaxed 4 miles per hour. For most users, that slowdown isn't a deal-breaker, it just reinforces the need to plan charging around longer trips. If you have access to a wall,